Turn your life into a spiritual journey. You know, this video is for myself, and I will only upload it and make it public if I think it's good enough. Moving on, I got my painting behind me that I've been working on a little bit last night. I like to paint. I was really thinking today, I had some things come wander into my consciousness today that really made me think about my life plans. And there's a lot of important decisions for me to make. And I think about also as well, I've been working very hard, and I've noticed that anything that happens in my life, that there's a bump in the road, when you're working super hard, anything that's a bump can sway you and you can have an ego backlash. So I'm being very mindful of that. And I'm just looking at my entire life trajectory. I'm doing like imaginary conversations with my 90-year-old self. What would he say about this situation? And the answer I got was, look, as long as you have the determination to stay on your path, you will get there. However, you have a choice upon which path you want to take. And that comes down to what you want to experience. There's a common saying where it's like, we're just a spiritual being having a human experience. And if you come from that perspective, you got to think, like, what kind of experience do you want to choose having? Little paintbrushes are falling over. What kind of experiences do you want to have on your journey? Do you want to challenge yourself? Do you want to risk it? Do you want to play safe? Do you want to balance a little bit of risk, and a little bit of safety? How do you want to play your cards? How much work do you want to put into actualizing your passions? Every single day, what are you doing to show your respect for your life? I think about, how I'm going to, like, where I'm headed and how much work I'm putting into getting to where I want to go. And I just really think about when it gets difficult, that's when I really have to tap into my spirituality. That's when I really have to recontextualize this and reframe this whole thing as this is me embarking on my spirituality. When things are getting difficult, when things are getting uncertain, those are tests for you to see who's going to show up. And so it is in moments like these where you don't have that clarity. You have the choice to continue going, to continue focusing on what's important right now. When you make that choice to focus on what's important, it is through massive amounts of action will you create clarity for yourself. You see, a lot of times, if we are stuck in confusion for days upon days, then we are not taking enough action. How much action would you have to take such that you stop worrying about what's going to happen? How much action do you have to take such that you can feel that you've put in your all to get yourself into a better spot? How much action you have to take? If you have to define it, define it. If you have to work on something for 5 hours a day and you have to clock it in, fucking do that. Wes Watson would say, conscious congruent action creates clarity. And I agree with that. Really ground yourself in your routines more. Trust in the process of your routines. And if you haven't got one, make one. Make a world-class routine such that by the time, you're like 3 years in, you will have soared past all of your peers. Because you're on a trajectory so fucking steep. So far. You're going to go so far that you're not even going to be able to recognize yourself in 3 years from now because of how much you're going to grow. In these moments where you don't have that clarity, take time to empower yourself through consistent action every single day. Take time to do emotionally difficult things, self-inflicted adversity. This will be your savior. Take time to take a moment to reflect and to speak to your higher self. Take time to look at your treasure chest. And what I mean by that is, which you should have by now, and if you haven't, make one, which is a list of videos and songs that remind you to have courage. It takes courage to create clarity when it doesn't look good, when things are looking grim. But you have to understand as well, wherever you are, good or bad, this too shall pass. And so in fully accepting that, you can challenge yourself to embrace the moment. If you're really facing an obstacle, challenge yourself to completely embrace the obstacle and see it as the way. And ask yourself, what divine intelligence is being bestowed upon me now? Right? What is the reality trying to tell me now? And if we can ask ourselves this question, then we can unlock our newfound path. You see, there's going to be things that are going to be thrown into our way. And instead of complaining and whining about it, we have to have the courage to see the intelligence behind it. Because it fucks up with our plans, that's good. That's there to teach us. If you can't create success unless everything is going your way, then was that success even worth earning? I think the best success is the success that's hard won. Because that makes for a story worth reading about. That's a story that I want to hear about. The conflicts and those moments where you don't know what's going to go next. But you have the courage to still keep going. So right now, take this video and remember, this too shall pass. And you need to take action still every day. And you need to force yourself to, at the same time, try to develop clarity through conscious congruent action. But at the same time, embrace the confusion. Embrace the not knowing. Embrace the discomfort state, and really ask, what is reality trying to tell me? What's the intelligence of this plan? What's the best maneuver here? And with that, I would like to thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.